Honeysuckle has a number of biological features that directly affect the need for timely and competent pruning. This plant is distinguished by the fact that it is early pruning that promotes the formation of the maximum number of flower buds, and thus, an increased yields in the following season. If you pay attention to pruning at the start of the growing season, the chance to get an abundant berry harvest increases several times. And this rule is relevant for young bushes that are at the stage of formation, and especially for adults, already several years of fruit-bearing specimens. For old bushes that need rejuvenation, quality pruning becomes an urgent task, because without it, over time there is a sharp decline in the quantity and quality of the harvest. When do honeysuckle plants produce flower buds? The most important feature of honeysuckle is the process of flower budding. In most berry crops, this process begins either in spring or closer to fall. But honeysuckle enters this stage immediately after the end of fruiting, when the plant has devoted all its energies to forming and ripening berries. As soon as the collection of fruits is completed, small rudiments of future flowers begin to form in the axils of the upper leaves. It is from them that the next year's crop will appear. Periods of flower bud formation may vary depending on the variety. In Kamchatka varieties and most of the known edible forms, the process of setting buds is synchronous, without significant time delays. In seedlings of the same species, the process can be delayed by 3 to 5 days relative to the main mass of bushes. Turchaninova also differs. For this variety, the delay in the formation of flower buds can reach a week or even 10 days. Such differences should definitely be taken into account in horticultural practice in order to correctly choose the time of pruning and not to harm the future collection of fruits. Why is it important not to delay with pruning? Many gardeners wonder, why rush the procedure if in the fall, when the leaves fall, the skeleton of the bush becomes visible and the work is easier? Indeed, fall pruning is often carried out to give young honeysuckle a neat shape, as well as to cut off damaged or weak branches for sanitary purposes. For young or newly planted specimens, this approach is quite sufficient. But for an adult, long-fruiting shrub, the situation is different. After completing the collection of berries, the plant immediately begins to form future flower buds. And if you carry out pruning after this moment, you risk accidentally removing the already laid shoots with flower buds, which will negatively affect the next year's harvest. Therefore, it is especially valuable early formative pruning, while the bush has not yet begun the process of laying. Influence of light on honeysuckle yield. Light plays a crucial role in the formation of flower buds in honeysuckle. All key processes are established on the apex and lateral shoots of the current year, where there is the most light. In open sunny areas, bushes are able to form significantly more flower buds compared to specimens growing in the shade. If the bush is left untrimmed, its crown can become very thickened. The inner branches will be shaded, and flower buds will either not set at all, or there will be very few of them. By cutting the bush, you create good ventilation and provide access to light to the maximum area of shoots. After such manipulation, the sun illuminates not only the tips, but also the entire structure of the plant, stimulating the formation of new healthy and potentially fruit-bearing branches. Therefore, proper pruning is not just a maintenance procedure, but a strategic technique to increase productivity. The shoots on which the crop ripens. Honeysuckle berries are formed on young shoots of the current year, which can develop in 2 ways. Fresh side twigs appear on the former, existing shoots. New shoots grow from the central part of the bush, often the strongest and potentially most productive. When rejuvenating pruning, remove old, woody branches that have lost their lateral branches and have almost ceased to bear fruit. With age, they are less and less involved in the formation of the crop, gradually become naked, and berries appear only on their tops in small quantities. In addition, thickened branches interfere with air exchange and prevent light penetration into the bush, which can provoke the development of diseases and further reduce yields. Pruning should be supplemented by thinning out the young shoots. Do not leave all the green mass that has appeared during the spring. Leave only those shoots that are well positioned, do not overcrowd the center of the bush, and are favorably lit. This approach will allow the bush to receive the maximum amount of light and air, which will positively affect its overall health and future yield. How to prune honeysuckle correctly? The optimal shape of a honeysuckle bush is no more than 10 strong, evenly spaced shoots in a circle. It is important to remember, weak branches will not bear fruit, since flower buds are not formed on them. The center of the bush should remain open. This ensures good light penetration to the peripheral branches. As a result, more buds are laid on them, and the yield may even exceed what it would have been without pruning. Experienced gardeners advise even bending the main shoots to the sides so that each of them is evenly illuminated. In adult bushes, annually remove up to half or even 60% of the green mass. When pruning, remove all lower branches that touch the soil and are in the shade, all branches that cross each other and interfere with each other, damaged and broken branches, weak and redundant shoots, shoots growing into the bush. If the bush is young and does not require rejuvenation, fresh shoots should not be pruned. Rejuvenating honeysuckle pruning. It is not recommended to cut off old branches completely at once. Leave stubs 5 to 7 centimeters long. Each shoot has dormant buds, which will soon give new branches after pruning. In the fall, only those shoots that are well wooded are kept among the grown shoots. It is better to use a sharp and sturdy pruning shears. It is easy to cut even old, relatively thick branches of honeysuckle, which are usually softer than those of many other garden crops. After such pruning, the sun can freely penetrate through the foliage to the soil, which facilitates subsequent care, loosening and fertilizing. It is quite rare for honeysuckle to have diseased branches, but if they are found, they should also be removed. If the bark peels off on old shoots, don't worry. This is a natural rejuvenation process and not a sign of disease.